That's a little bit better. Okay. It's been a great day today. That's for sure. About to get this show started in a minute. I'm sure people will file in soon. A lot to talk about. Tomorrow's show is going to be crazy, though. Just thought I'd, do a little something. It's been a busy, busy, busy week. That's for sure. Jackie Gaines in the house. Good seeing you. Just getting warmed up here. Just getting warmed up. Tonight, we got the trophy right. Tomorrow night, we have Fulio or Coolio. That's his new name now. He's literally online right now, begging to men, trying to tell them that he's not who he really is. But we'll get into that tomorrow. But today, it's about the trophy wife, Indiana mom in the house. Good seeing you, Indiana mom. It's been a great day today. No. Let me play something with a little bit more jam to it. That's back. I mean, it is background music, I guess. Huh? But let me see what I got here. Why does it play that? That's not what I uploaded. Something went wrong. Anyway, let me get the show started. Here we go, y'all. Let me just get the show started now. This is from Jules Lowell, and she has a little something to tell everybody. Let's have her break it down. Here we go.
A man commented on one of my posts over on YouTube, and the comment read as, and I quote, "You should be lucky that you're not my wife, because I would keep you pregnant all the time, and you would not have time to be on the internet running your mouth." Granted, on rare occasion, a man might actually want to be a good father. He might actually legitimately want to start a family so that he can be a great father. But those instances are rare.
Yes.
What's happening a lot of the times is, one, they get you pregnant to shut you the fuck up. Perhaps you're nagging about moving in together, or nagging about him finally proposing to you when you guys finally getting married. And much like a shut up ring, there are shut up babies. And in those cases, he knows that it will make you assume that you guys are moving in the direction of becoming an actual family.
Exactly. Like to welcome to the house, Eat Prayer Yoga, Jackie Gaines, Indiana mom. It's good seeing everybody here. Now, my theory is this is basically, I think a lot of the men these days I wouldn't even call it a shut up baby. What I would call it is a control baby. They know they can own you for 18 years. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
Also, there's this misconception that deadbeat men do this kind of shit, men who are quite obviously abusive.
Yep.
But no, your loving golden retriever husband, who is your bestie and your BFF for life, and you're so lucky to have him, they do trifling shit like that too. All of a sudden, you're presented with a lot more opportunities than usual. Your social life is starting to boom. You're going out a lot more than usual, not
Right.
even necessarily to clubs or anything like that, but you just have a good social life. He's
Right.
finding himself in a situation where he's now at home with the kids a lot more than usual. You're not around waiting for him like a puppy at the door whenever he comes home. You now have shit that occupies your time now. And Timothy doesn't like that. So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's like, babe, I know you've wanted to have another baby. What a better time than now when shit's starting to pop
Yeah,
off
see,
for
the
you.
funny thing is that for some reason, everybody, assumed for a while that it was the men being tied down to the kids, but that's factually impossible. It's mathematically impossible, and it's logistically impossible because who takes care of the kids most of the time? The woman does. So who's being tied down to somebody else's kid? The woman. See how that's going? See how that works? See how that works? It ain't working good. I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna keep it grooving. I like to welcome everybody for coming through. This is all about the trophy wife. And one of my favorite content creators is Your Triggered. And she breaks things down so cool that not only can I comment on the comment content that she plays, but the the gems that she spits. So without further ado, let's do just that. Here we go.
When I first
Wait,
met my husband,
Yvette? Let me go forward a little bit. If you want to see the whole thing, you got to go to Your Triggers channel.
but I feel like it's necessary to talk about this because there seems to be this war going on between the manosphere and the other side that they like to call modern women. I wanted to call attention to the two, what I would call leaders of these movements.
Rita!
One being Shera 7 and the other being Kevin Samuels.
I already out the gate. You cannot mix the two together, even though they did collab. One of my team let me know that they did collab, but quite honestly, there's some nuances in their theories that make that totally impossible. Let's see what else she says, but I got a lot to say about that. Here we go.
You guys know, if you've already watched my other videos, that Shera 7, her teachings changed my life. And I would not be where I am today without her teachings. Someone like her showing us that we don't have to accept less, that we don't have to settle for bare minimum when it comes to men, especially if you look good. Finally starting to realize our worth and becoming more feminine, leveling up our looks, is the manosphere red pill side of things, which was formerly led by Kevin Samuels.
No, the manosphere red pill side of things was to program you into the situation you ended up into. TW. That's for trophy wife. Anyway, um, yeah. I mean, basically, he tried to brainwash black women into becoming doormats. And it worked on her perfectly. It worked on the trophy wife perfectly. So let's break it down even more.
Now, I didn't discover Kevin Samuels until after I was married. There was so many men that, loved Kevin and were rooting for him and believed in his message. And when I listened to Kevin Samuels, I learned a lot. He also talked about the importance of staying in shape and being fit and how that can either work for you or work against you.
Isn't that ironic that a guy who passed away from not keeping up with his fitness is the one spitting out all this information about and to women? Doesn't that sound? I mean, I'm just saying, that's kind of weird, right? That, this guy is telling women to be fit, friendly, feminine, and submissive, saying nothing to the men, by the way. Nothing to the men about being fit, right? and then he passes away because of his own health. You it's I'm not trying to be mean, but you have to find the irony in that. You have to grasp the irony in that. I mean, you just do. I mean, that is the most it's almost like Jack LaLanne passing away. Jack LaLanne passed away when he was older. But that's like him being, let's say, in the pinnacle of his fitness, telling everybody how you should eat and everything like that, and then he passes away from his own health. This is almost the same thing with Kevin Samuels. So if if there's anything that you'll learn tonight on this channel tonight is the irony of the manosphere. I mean, this is really just a little bit about the trophy wife. The problem the trophy wife had is she took the bait. She took the bait. That's why she's in the situation she is in. Let me keep this playing. Here we go.
In the dating market and even in a marriage. He had me, making sure that I'm keeping my body together and I'm, staying just as good as I looked when my husband met me. I think that so many women hated Kevin Samuels because of the delivery rather than the message. I think there's so
Both
many
were trash. Both were trash to a point. Now, a lot of the things he did say real, were real. They were actually like, a rich man wants a hot woman, blah, 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 blah. The problem, what he left out is number one, the majority of the men that watched his channel weren't rich. That's number one. And then number two, the men he was referring to that were rich were assholes. Okay, so believe it or not, what he was doing was doing the bidding for a-holes, right? And then telling women, he was literally leading lambs to the slaughter. Telling women, oh yeah, if you want to, you got to be fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive, and all this kind of stuff. But ask yourself this, ladies and gentlemen, what good is a high value man who treats you like shit? Even if he gave you money, you're not going to be in a good mood. It's gonna just that money that he gives you, if he gives it to you. That's most high value men don't even give you the money, by the way. They just say they're gonna give you money and they don't. So they put hands and feet on you, verbally, put hands on and feet on you, and then give you little nickels and dimes, and then you might be able to stay in a nice house while he goes out, by the way, and cheats on you. But it's not cheating, of course, because he's just exercising his options, right? Yeah, that's excellent. That's perfect. Okay, let me keep going. Here we go.
of us that grew up without a father, and therefore it's very hard for us to accept certain messages from men, especially from black men. My husband is black, and some of the women that work for him, the women that are black women, have a harder time letting him lead because he's black. And that, is just something that goes on in our community. So
Spicy Black Tina, perfect. But check out the wives of billionaires. They're not supermodels. These are everyday women. Bars. Yeah, a lot of the wives of billionaires are just, believe it or not, they're exceptional in different things. Like, for example, let's take the man who made, who's basically an icon, the man who made all the Star Wars movies. He he married a black woman. She is not super fine and nothing. Don't get me wrong, she's very pretty, but she's not like super fine but they love each other deeply. Okay? And he makes it clear to everybody that he loves her very deeply. So, ju- I mean, that just shows you that you don't have to be fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive. You really don't. You just have to find somebody who truly loves you for you. That's it. And there's plenty of humans all over the place. But you have to understand Kevin Samuel's world. It's a world of shallow men and women. Okay. It's a world of shallow men and women. Even if he did know rich people, and he knew a few here and there. Um, that's a different world. It's like kind of like if I don't know if you've been like if you remember back in high school how there used to be something back in the day we called them cliques, where there were all there were the thug clique, or there were the geek clique, or there were like the snobby cliques where everybody had to look good for everybody. You know what I mean? The guys look good, the girls look good. Breaking now they were breaking each other's hearts, but it was still a clique. And that's basically what he's running off of, along with a lot of other different stuff. But yeah, basically that's what's going down here. He had a market of shallowness. Let's put it that way. He never he was right. Rich men. There are rich men that are looking for trophy wives, but there are just as many rich men looking for just the love of their life. The only problem is the black community, we just don't have that many rich men, period. Phoenix Soul is in the house.
I think that had a lot to do with why so many women hated
Well said, Phoenix Soul. How do you let a leader lead?
Kevin Samuels. It agrees with our DNA, our bodies, our hormones more to be able to rest in our femininity and be home with our children. I actually couldn't believe how many people were cheering over the fact that this man had passed away. To me, that was sad and unnecessary because
Well, let's ask his daughter. Let's see what his daughter said. Hold on one second while I bring up his daughter. Do I have it on here? Not that one. Where is everything? Ah, I know where it's at. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Playlist. I want you to listen to how this is his daughter endorsing him. Well, I wouldn't call it that. Let's listen. Here we go.
The fast lanes because you literally some of the things that have affected. My dad was physically there, but he was never mentally or emotionally there.
Okay.
Some of the things that have affected. My dad was physically there, but he was never mentally or emotionally there.
Now that's his daughter talking about her dad, Kevin Samuels. So where's the value in having a person in the house who basically who is physically there but not emotionally there? Let's keep it going. Here we go.
And that is an issue within itself. I'm not going to talk about how my dad grew up because I have no idea. Every time I tried to talk to him to get him to open up so that I can understand him, he just made jokes. Like I remember a couple of months ago, I was like, Dad, did you ever deal with any traumas growing up like that made you who you are? And he was like, well, that one time your Uncle D, he stuck me with a diaper pin when he was changing my diaper when I was like 2. Like he just takes things as jokes. I don't know if it's because as how most men are, they don't like to open up. I don't know. I really don't care because I just feel like what you deal with growing up, you have the ability to decide how you're going to use that. You can use it to hurt people or you can use it to say, you know what, I don't want to instill that in the people in my life.
This is Kevin Samuel's daughter, by the way.
You just keep it moving. Um, so I primarily spent a lot of time at my dad's mother's house growing up because my sister didn't like going over there. She hated it. And I loved it because not only did I just absolutely love my grandmother and her husband, but because I was the only one there, I always got the attention there that I did not get at home. So I felt loved. I felt all of that.
Oh, she had to go to another household to feel loved, other than feeling loved around her own father, Kevin Samuels. Deontay, it's good seeing you tonight. He's Deontay says cheering for for the deletion or the passing away. Let's say that is beyond ignorant. I think if you don't, Deontay, and maybe we can chat about it later. But if if the bullets aren't flying at you, it's hard for us to really, as men, judge what would be ignorant or not. I mean, if it's like this, if Adolf H, the guy from the Nazi guy, I don't want to say his full name because it might get in the algorithm, was around. There are going to be some people who cheered, him, you know, being deleted. They're just going to do that because that he was that he was that bad for them. And a lot of women felt that way, and they do have the right to feel that way. I mean, I understand. I see your point of view, but I mean, that's only if you're thinking about it in a general way, like somebody who hasn't caused so much damage to so many people. Because as you can see, Deontay, there's a lot of people. You see all these Kevin Samuels disciples all over the place. I would say at least two-thirds of the women, it's not really about him passing away. It's about his message that he was sending out there. That was the problem. And um, basically, that's the issue. And I understand you're saying that he's not eight, Adolf, but he is to a lot of in relative how what word am I looking for? In relative spaces to women, he is. He's about the same. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's not. I mean, he didn't, put women in gas chambers and stuff like that, but I mean, basically, he there's a very good chance he increased the amount of femicide going on because when you as a man convince a lot of other men in a community that they are worthy or they are entitled to have women that in reality they are not because for one reason or the other, whether it's because they're an ex-con or they're making minimum wage or whatever like that, then you're going to make a lot of angry men. A lot of men are going to be angry. And Phoenix Soul says, I disagree. Death is just uh, death is just the beginning of another journey. I bet he's not spitting that BS wherever he is now. Based on, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I respect your point of view, but at the same time, I don't think I wouldn't call it. It's not. I mean, wishing some guy who's just like a guy, being happy about that. That's different. But for somebody who spit some very evil stuff, that's a different story. Let me play some more. Here we go.
And I just became really depressed. For 9 years, I dealt with depression. I dealt with a lot of anxiety. I used to have panic attacks like in my sleep, waking up, just feeling like I couldn't breathe. And it just was really bad because I had to watch her disintegrate, like literally. She had pancreatic cancer and she died about 2.5 years after she was diagnosed. So it wasn't anything fast. And I think
Let me pause this because Phoenix Soul said exactly what I was trying to say. He facilitated and distributed hate. He is just as problematic as any warmonger. That's pretty much that's the point I was trying to make.
Sometimes the slower deaths are just as bad as the fast ones because you literally watch somebody get really, really bad. I became suicidal because I just felt like the one person that I never had to question their love for me was gone. Yeah, I just always felt like I was second. One of the things that my dad used to do.
We Pray Yoga says, why are people still talking about Kevin Samuels? About talking about KS death. It's really not about his death. It's about what he left. Um, he left about, I would say that the Kevin Samuels industry is probably the largest growing industry on YouTube. And the problem is that it's affecting our community a lot because men are expecting undeserving men. Hi, Bridget. Undeserving men are expecting more than one they deserve and two than they bargained for. And a perfect example is a trophy wife. And the reason why she's a perfect example is she followed the teachings of Kevin Samuels to the T. And y'all see what happened to her. So, I mean, the upside for a woman is supposed to be if you follow the teachings of Kevin Samuels, that you won't be called hitting the wall. You will be treated decently because you are being fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive. And what the trophy wife has exposed is that's not true. It's not true at all. It's not even remotely true. In fact, if you've seen our Crime Sundays when we used to have them, most of those women who were passed away by their significant other were fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. Go look at all those videos because we don't show them a whole lot right now because this is the holiday season. We want people to be happy, not sad, right? But if you notice, those are some gorgeous women that were passed away by their men that they trusted, fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive. And you're supposed to be exempt from that kind of treatment, but if anything, they're targeted more. Let's listen to Kevin Samuels' daughter a little bit more. Here we go.
That really bothered me, and he actually laughed about it in Sunday's incident, and basically kind of threw his hands up as if it was like, whatever, like that's what, and he literally said, that's what you're mad about. I remember growing up, he grabbed me by my hair, and in the midst of doing that, threw my head up against the car window.
Let me pause that right now because I think you need to hear this. Remember, this is his daughter. Listen to what he did to his daughter.
He grabbed me by my hair, and in the midst of doing that, threw my head up against the car window.
Does that really sound like somebody you want to take marriage advice from, people? I mean, really, honestly. Susie Bear in the house, Quita Ward, Jackie. I think somebody, Spicy Black Tina, is dropping some gems up in here. But yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like, this is what he's doing to his daughter. Let me play it one more time. This is what he did to his daughter. Listen.
Our window.
No, let me pull back a little bit more.
I remember growing up, he grabbed me by my hair, and in the midst of doing that, threw my head up against the car window.
I need to make sure that I turn on CCTV so everybody can see what she said too, just in case you in your car or at work. Here we go.
He said, that's what you're mad about. I remember remember growing up, he grabbed me by my hair, and in the midst of doing that, threw my head up against the car window.
She just said, he grabbed me by my hair. And in the midst of doing that, well, she's well educated, threw my head up against the car window. And you have to wonder to yourself, if he's doing that to his daughter, what is he doing what was he back then doing to his wife? Now, it would be different if he said, I went through, the devil's fire, but I got therapy and this and that. And I'm a better person now. At least, I don't even know if you should believe it, but at least if he said that, then you might be able to get some value out of it. But you're basically getting value out of you're listening. And this is why the trophy wife ended up in the same. Do you see that? Do you see the parallels? The trophy wife, what happened to her? Ended up with a monster. Do you see what happened? Kevin Samuel's daughter ended up with a monster. We can measure the monster amount later, but I think pretty much we can agree. Look, that's his daughter speaking. It's not a bitter baby mama or anything you want to say like that. It's not that. This is his daughter who tried to love him, but he wasn't about that. One more time.
Threw his hands,
One more time.
He actually laughed about it in Sunday's incident, and basically kind of threw his hands up as if it was like, whatever. Like, that's what he literally said. That's what you're mad about. I remember growing up, he grabbed me by my hair, and in the midst of doing that, threw my head up against the car window. And I just remember thinking to myself, what did I do wrong? And you're talking about somebody, I didn't even get whoopings, I didn't get punishment, I didn't get grounded, I didn't get any of that. Because I was a good kid. I had a smart mouth sometimes. Because I was just too smart for my own good, but I was a good kid. So to not even get whoopings and to have something like that happen was really traumatic.
So basically, this is what he had to offer women. Let's go back to the trophy wife. I want you to see the parallels.
At the end of the day, I believe that he was teaching women how to qualify for the men that they want. I have nothing negative to say about black men. I'm married to a black man. I'm raising black sons. And you won't ever hear that coming from me, okay? And if you believe that you're not the kind of woman that black men want, then go where you're valued. I really don't get it when people come on here and are trying to put their 2 cents in the comments, but then when I go on their page and their channel, they don't have any videos. Don't try to come on my platform and elevate your opinion. If you really believe in then you'll start your own channel and speak on it for yourself. You can easily click off if you don't agree. And to be honest, I really don't care who doesn't agree, because at the end of the day, I really don't have to be doing this. I don't have to work. I'm still, whether you like me or not, I'm still going to be rocking Chanel and driving a Porsche. So, your opinion is not going to pay my bills, and it really just doesn't matter. And if you're triggered by that statement, it's because you don't believe that you can accomplish that for yourself. So, level up your mindset. Anything's possible. Hey ladies, welcome back to The New Trophy Wife. Today I'm going to be sharing my story with you guys about how I went from being a single mom to a spoiled housewife in less than 1 year. After having 2 children and being a single mom, I think that my self-esteem was definitely low. So I ended up signing up for eHarmony. I created a profile, and I think the second person that I matched with was the man that I'm married to now, my husband, and it was very different. My husband and I have a 20-year age gap. So when I met my husband, I knew right away almost, and people say that, but it was definitely true. I know it sounds cliche. Just from our first date, it just felt natural. I felt like I just had known this person already. It was so comfortable. So we went to a really nice seafood restaurant, and it was great. It was an amazing first date. We had a great first date, and I think he ended up asking me to be his girlfriend on the first date, and I said I would think about it. For some reason, we kind of stopped talking for a little while, and we both were dating other people and doing our own thing, and then I had gotten into a serious relationship with somebody, ended up breaking up because he just didn't really vibe with my oldest son, who was 5 at the time. I could tell
There's a bug in the house. Susie Bear in the house.
that he was really just putting
Unknown in the house.
up with my kids. He didn't really embrace them. Sometimes, we as mothers can tell like someone's just being nice to our kids for the purpose of being with you, and they're not necessarily invested in your kids themselves. And that's what I felt like from him. So it just didn't feel good. It didn't feel like a family, the kind of family that I was wanting. So I ended up breaking up with him, and we were living together. And I just like packed all my stuff and left. And it was crazy because the next day, my now husband, reached out to me and was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I told him, I just got out of a relationship, and I kind of told him a little bit about why. And he was telling me like, "Oh, those are my boys," and he had genuinely really connected with my kids, and he was not the kind of man that was just being nice to them to get to me. Like, it was very genuine, and that was one of the things that I really loved about him. That was something that stood out. It was he really embraced the fact that I had children because he wanted children, and so he was talking. My lease was going to be ending very soon, which is why I went ahead and moved in with my person that had became my ex. We started living together, and I told my husband, I was like, "Hey," it was so embarrassing to admit, but I was like, "I need a place to stay because my lease is ending,
Uh-oh.
and I just broke up with my boyfriend, and maybe, even if it's just like for a couple weeks, it's okay. Just so I look for somewhere else because I had."
Mariah G says, I don't like that her children suffered, but why would a mother post her children's trauma for all the world to see? Bars.
I planned on needing to find somewhere else. And he was saying, "Well, if you're going to live with me, it's going to be as my wife, not as my girlfriend." And I was like, "Well, how spontaneous are you?" And he laughed and he said, "Very spontaneous." I went and got his ring. I think I paid like $300 for it. It wasn't
Wait
like
a
a super
minute.
flashy
Did she
ring like the one
just
he has
say
now. It
after
was
like what? Wait a minute. What?
and maybe, even if it's just like for a couple weeks, it's okay. Just so I look for somewhere else because I had planned on needing to find somewhere else. And he was saying, "Well, if you're going to live with me, it's going to be as my wife, not as my girlfriend." And I was like, "Well, how spontaneous are you?" And he laughed and he said, "Very spontaneous." I went and got his ring. I think I paid like $300 for it. It wasn't like a super flashy ring like the one he has now, which is completely a lot better. But I went and got his ring. And
Quita says she was thirsty. She was. I mean, quite honestly, Quita, you nailed it perfectly. I mean, she was thirsty in general because she just got out of a thirst relationship that went bad, that was sour, into another one.
we talked on FaceTime. I was like, "I did something." And he was like, "What did you do?" I was like, "I got your wedding ring." So he was like, "No, you didn't. Show me." So I showed him. I said, "Yeah, I actually did it. I don't know if you were really being serious, but we were talking about getting married." So I had a really bad habit of like spending money. We
Did she get the ring? She got.
had, we got married at the courthouse because I told him I don't need a big wedding. I'd, rather spend that money elsewhere. And we had a really beautiful wedding reception.
So I like to people watch when I go out. And what
Uh-oh. Let me turn this up a little bit. I think this is where the mix comes in.
really bothers me is that every time I see women, or most women, they're looking like men.
If you hear any noise in the background, that's the new baby. A lot has happened since the last time that I recorded. Unfortunately, it's been a little over a month since I had to end up leaving my husband. It's just such a hard topic.
Okay, so let's make sure we hear that right. She had to leave her husband. Wait a minute. Oh, what's this thing? Women always leave men. What's that? It's 80% that women always divorce the men. Huh. I wonder why. Let's find out.
Every time I see women, or most women, they're looking like men.
If you hear any noise in the background, that's the new baby. A lot has happened since the last time that I recorded. Unfortunately, it's been a little over a month since I had to end up leaving my husband. It's just such a hard topic. And I honestly thought that by the time I got on here that I wouldn't have any tears left because I've just cried so much. It's like I built this channel and this whole brand around being this man's wife and
Yeah.
trying to teach other women how to attract good men and provider men and all these different
Whoa.
things. And I truly held my husband, or saw him, as the bar for what every woman should, the type of man that, or type of husband that every woman should aspire to have. And I didn't realize that the person I married was actually going to be my biggest nightmare.
Wow. I guess them Kevin Samuels teachings didn't really work out. Dang. Now, there's a couple things going on here because I don't know about you, but, and don't get me wrong, I mean, it's not like I watch Shera 7 24/7, but I never saw her say anything about getting your butt, whooped by your husband. I didn't hear her talk anything about that. And I never heard her say anything about being a husband's doormat. This woman treated her man like gold. And because of her man is exactly who he was, theoretically the same black man, she got what everybody else would get.
So basically, when I first met my husband, as I've already talked about in another video, I think it was my single mom video, I explained, a little bit about how we met. And I really thought that man was my Prince Charming. So when I first met my husband, I thought that he was my Prince Charming. I thought that he was my knight in shining armor, and he portrayed himself to be this amazing, upright, righteous Christian man.
Sounds like a narcissist to me.
And I believed him. I think shortly after we got married, and this is something that I haven't talked about, I started noticing like certain things changed with him, and I just started to see a few things that I didn't like, but I honestly thought that
Mom, now she's projecting because her cucumber-looking head looks just like a man.
some of these were things that I could get past. It was like sad to even say like I could get past some of these things. I don't even know where to start. 6 weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter. I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately, my first thought was, did someone touch her? Oh, God. Gosh.
Oh, man. That's crazy. So, wait, let me go back up here because I saw a very... Yeah, Hazel was saying this. She said, Big brother DJ Torch, she has videos with her daughter screaming in the background. Let me get closer to the mic. She has videos with her daughter screaming in the background in another room with her husband slash PEDO. Wow.
So I asked her, I said, baby, did somebody touch you? And she ended up saying it was Daddy.
Wow. Okay, and see, it's funny because they make up that ignorant thing about, oh yeah, 80% of women ask for the divorce. Well, if this was happening to your kids, wouldn't you ask for a divorce?
I felt like my world ended on that day. My husband wasn't home at the time when she told me, but I knew he would be coming home soon, so all I could do was just say, don't tell him that you told me. And I just instantly started trying to think of how I could get my kids out of the house, because I knew if I confronted him or asked him about it, that he would just lie. and that he would probably just continue to keep doing stuff to her, but just become more covert or more sneaky or whatever. As soon as my husband got home, he was actually picking up the boys from school, my two older boys from school. As soon as he got home, I told him that I was going to go Halloween shopping
Well
with my
said. Quita says he touched his own daughters. It's very common, but she better get them boys checked too.
sister because I just needed an excuse to get out of the house with all the kids. And I knew if I said something like, oh, I'm going to the grocery store, that it would be suspicious. Like, why am I bringing all the kids and like packing things, like things that we would need and things like that. So going Halloween shopping was the best thing I could think of to just hurry up and get the kids out of the house. I'm sorry, I had to get myself together.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive gets you. Literally one of the worst scenarios you can be in a relationship. Because it was never about being fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive. If a monster is a monster, is a monster is a monster. If Godzilla comes out and starts shooting out fire, out of his mouth, that's just what he was born to do. So the goal is not to be fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive per se. I mean, it's if you are going to do that, be that for yourself. But basically, avoid Godzilla. Avoid Godzilla. That's the key. That's the key to happiness. I can't. There's bandits out there, but then there's Godzilla. This man is Godzilla. I don't care how much money he makes or what he does. He's just another Diddy at the end of the day.
So when I got to the hospital, they basically told me that we had to go to another hospital because they didn't do physical exams, like that kind of physical exam there. So a police officer escorted the kids and I to another hospital where they were able to evaluate my daughters.
Hey. Eat, Pray, Yoga breaks it down perfectly. What blows my mind is women can earn a great living without these terrible men. Why put up with it? Bars. That's basically bars right there. Here we go.
It ended up coming out that he had actually been touching both of my daughters, who are only 2 and 4 years old. I kept waking up every day just hoping that this was a dream, because it's literally
No,
my
that's
worst
not
nightmare.
a dream. That's a nightmare, my dear.
It's my worst nightmare, and I'm just not quite sure how this happened, why this happened.
Now, I know that was a lot to watch, but I just wanted you guys to get a full picture of who this creator is, what her content is about, and what's really going on.
I mean, by the way, this is your triggered. Her channel is amazing. You need to check it out. But basically, what you saw was I can't stress this anymore. I know the man passed away. But you got to look at what he left. I mean, he literally has I can't tell you. There must be about 10,000 channels just dedicated to Kevin Samuels. From what's his name? What's his name? No Beezy or whatever his name is, to MTR, to Cart Before the Horse, all of those channels, you know. Austin Holloman was into that shit. And they all have one thing in common. They are really, in one way or the other, undesirable to women. That's number one. And number two, they have the capability of being monsters. I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying they have the capability. Hazelbug says, on those videos, the baby was saying, ouch, and stop. Wow. And she told her audience to ignore her. Wow. Oh my. We might have to do a part 2 and just now, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe maybe we will. That's deep. That's not cool at all. She was with her. Oh man. Wait, wait. Sorry, wrong one. Wrong one. Let's move forward. Um, wait. Let me let your trigger spit for a minute. But the rest you're gonna have to go to her channel for. But here we go.
And I think that we can all agree that this creator is a full blown, out and out pick me, very male centered. Now, you have this creator who tells women that all they need to do is be pretty and feminine like her, and she can show them how they can get the rich man of their dreams, just like she did, that will provide for them, and they won't have to want for anything. She brags about getting Chanel's and driving a Porsche. She mentions black women not allowing black men to lead. She mentions that the black women that work for her black husband, they're not accepting his leadership. And my thing is, maybe it wasn't that. Maybe their discernment was working in a way that hers was not. Now, if you notice, she said in the video that she was living with two different men. Her husband, who wasn't her husband at the time, and another one in the same year. And she had met both of them, like I said, in the exact same year, according to her timeline. So she had her children living with two different strange men. That is ridiculously irresponsible.
Thank you, Jackie. Yeah, everybody hit the like. Hit the like. It can't hurt. It's free 99. Free 99.
And it's impossible to vet men in that short a time. So she was already putting herself and her children in a risky position. But I guess it's cool because they were investing in her and giving her some coin. And this is the problem that I have with trophy wife, hypergamous, pick me content, is that the man having money and being well off is the number one priority above all else. But what should be above all else is the character of a man.
Right. Exactly. The character is important. It's number one. That includes the man. You want a man who with enough character and enough kindness that he's not in the hands and feet club. That is the key. That is the key. So let me move forward. Okay.
Go trophies. Go trophies.
What? Okay. Let me see where this is going. This was done 9 months ago. She ain't talking that smack no more. She ain't not talking that smack no more. I'm telling you, the fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive era is about to end. The thing is, she's not an outlier. This is the life of a trophy wife. Oh shit, I rhymed, folks. I rhymed. This is the life. This is the life of a trophy wife. Miss Hands and Feet. You know, oh, wait a minute. Let me break down something for you. Let me break down something for you. Let me break down something for you. Where did I do with that? Okay, that's not the one I wanted. Where's that at? Right here. Right here. Come on now. Where is the trophy? No, I'll put it in the other one. Okay, that's fine with me. I'll just bring it over to this one. See, y'all thought there was some editing done or Kevin was joking when he was talking some smack. I can't find that video. Where's it at? Okay, there's that one. Here we go. Here we go.
How do you think you can make your asset how do you think you can make your child an asset to the kind of man you want to marry?
How can I make my child an asset?
To the kind of man you would want to marry?
I feel like I would have to train her to be an asset, as in get her ready for life in general. put her in classes, make sure she's smart, make sure she's not, put in that time to make her a better person. Correct?
I'm asking,
am I right?
No, the question is how to make your child an asset to that man. That makes her an okay person. But how can you adopt? And this is a question all women.
Quita, yeah, thanks for coming by. See you on the next one, Quita. Here we go, everybody. Quita's got to get back to work.
Have to answer for themselves. How are my children benefiting you as my husband?
I told you. See, y'all thought he didn't mean what he meant. Y'all thought he didn't mean what he meant. He literally meant that. He literally meant that.
I never thought about that.
Well, and that's the problem.
What would you suggest? I'm just wondering because
I would say it's going to be extremely difficult. But what I would suggest is women who actually think about it from the man.
Yeah, you can get yourself a rich man, of course. You can get yourself a rich narcissist. Just feed your kids to him. Let's go forward a little bit. Let's get to that point. Here we go.
What happens next?
The relationship will have to.
And your child is 5. So you got a daughter, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say we have 2 deals.
Start this over.
I'll be honest, it's a package deal. That's no deal because let's say you and I were to get married. You got a daughter, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say we have 2 kids together. Mm-hmm. And your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and says, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower.
Told you. I think that's enough right there of that one. Kevin touched me, getting out of the shower. You guys think what he was doing was grooming that young lady to accept that kind of treatment from somebody else. Maybe him if he could get around to her. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. That's how these men are built. Let me play this real quick.
Experience that exoticals have is we are perceived as the feminine icons of the unambiguous Black community, but when we were children, a lot of our own Black mothers or fathers discouraged our femininity, or they
Let me pause that for a minute. Listen to this.
Okay, I'm gonna say it because I feel like we all are thinking it. Tia Mowry lacks a lot of self-love. She's extremely codependent, and I mean mentally codependent. And she needs a lot of validation. She is mentally exhausting, and it was never Corey, it was always Tia.
So I don't know if it's just me or my radar. Had to get a refill. But I really feel like Tia Mowry, if I pronounced that right, I really feel like she is going to be the most iconic lesbian. Hear me out. She said she only explored in every avenue with Corey. She didn't really get to know or taste or, like what she really wants. There's just something in my spirit that is just like, she likes women, okay? She likes women. And that's not to say that she never loved her husband, because you know how certain people are.
Remember, they're talking about a woman who literally got the guy from the streets. Okay. And making him sound like he's like on the same level.
But I really feel like if she goes down that avenue.
They're talking about Tia Mowry.
It's going to be it for her. It's going to be it for sis.
Now, we all been talking about the well-publicized divorce of Tia Mowry and her ex-husband, Corey Hardrick. And, I've been criticizing her since she's been divorced. She talked about graduation. Marriage was a graduation. They gave birth.
Susie Bear breaks it down perfectly. Women are human beings. No one should be striving to be a disposable object for the first time in history. Men have to have character and be partners if they want a lasting relationship or to be with women. Bars. The problem is a lot of men, they don't want to be with women. They actually want to be, when they want to be out with the guys, they want to be out with the guys. They're taking a lot of the emotional energy they're supposed to be giving their women and giving it to other men. They may not be physically doing it, but they are emotionally doing it. And that's why women in these, with men who think like that, are losing their value because these men want to be men. They do. In fact, I gotta want to be with men. And I got a little tape for that coming up in a minute. Here we go.
Gave birth to two beautiful children with Corey, and she would go on all these talk shows talking to anybody that would
Notice
hear
how
it.
they don't. They never say where Corey came from. They never say where Corey came from.
Minute she's in her whole phase, she's chilling with her girlfriends. The next minute she's crying, second guessing whether she should have left her marriage or not. I mean, it's been very confusing. And when she first left Corey, the fake sisterhood was destroying Corey all over social media. They was calling him all kinds of names, bozos and bums, and she got tired.
He was literally at a bus stop when she picked him up. That's the problem. That's see the issue. It was a long time ago. That's the issue. That's the problem. Is she picked him up from a bus stop? Ladies, there's nothing to be found at a bus stop.
Of putting up for him and taking care of this grown man. It was horrible. You know, they was really laying into Corey, destroying Corey, and Corey said nothing. The best thing that Corey ever did was keep his mouth shut. Keep his mouth shut. Don't say anything, because remember, men, especially black men in our community, we're not allowed to have emotions or feelings, right? We're supposed to just take it and get over it, right? We're robots, right? But he was getting destroyed in social media. But now, as you can see, a lot of black women is starting to get tired of Tia Mowry's act, because she had her new show, My Next Act, is not really hitting.
I mean, the funny thing is this is a man who's freaking, at least compared to Tia Mowry, is broke. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's got more, he's got more subscribers than me, but he's criticizing a woman that literally has 100 times, 200 times more much money than him. Let me see how much Tia Mowry's worth. Not a whole lot, $4 million. That's a lot. That's probably about 399.99 more million than the other guy has, right? I mean, that's what I see. Let me play this other clip. Because I'm going to show you why these men are acting this way. Let me go with this. Here we go. There we go. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you do. Here we go. Don't worry. No, we ain't done yet. We ain't not done yet. Let me move this up here. Okay, so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, here we go, y'all.
Let's get right into it. Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming and you? We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men. I understand the impulse, brothers. I do. But our women are not showing us. I don't care what they say. What are the women showing?
Well. You know what? I'm going to let you all listen to that again.
Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Have you gone through a time of swallowing where everything was overwhelming and you? But our women
are not showing us.
Can I say something?
I don't care what they say. What are the women showing?
Can I say something real quick? Black women, can we stop talking about if these niggas want us or not?
This is all natural. This is all natural. You're looking at 100% natural African alpha male.
Excuse me, Kevin. This is not. I'm talking to black women real quick. Can we stop talking? Can we stop posting all day on TikTok? I know we went to TikTok and I just kept seeing it.
Sugar Love in the house. Good seeing you.
Black women, can we stop talking about if these successful black men want us or not?
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men.
Swallowed up.
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men.
Have you ever been swallowed up?
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men.
Have you gone through a time of swallowing?
I understand the impulse, brothers. I do.
Where everything was overwhelming.
But our women are not showing us. I don't care what they say. What are the women showing?
Like, can we just focus on us and we be successful and then we go out there and we decide who the fuck we want?
And I need 100% all natural body parts, face, biologically born queens. One vegan queen and one soul food queen.
Now, women, or would it be better for him to go make a shade of brown?
You make the point. The shade of brown is better than the other.
That's all I'm saying. I'm serious. I am not saying like, I am not. Men have gone to the point. A lot of men, I'll say, not all, have gotten to the point where they want to have relationships with other men. Now, it may not be sexual. It might just be, they're boys. But if you think about it, that's what they want. That's why they want less from women. They don't want women to be a part of their lives. They want men to be a part of their lives. I guarantee you that's the problem at the end of the day. So let's get back to this, to your marriage.
With a lot of the sisterhood, they're sick and tired of it, and a lot of them are starting to turn on her and say, "You know what? We think Corey wasn't the problem all along."
This is funny how it's this dusty man telling us how women feel about Tia. That just there you go right there. That's just crazy to me. That is just crazy. So far, I've played Kevin's daughter, who doesn't have rave reviews about him. And basically, one of his proteges, his female proteges, I should say, it didn't go too well. She tried the Kevin Samuels plan, and it didn't work. Big brother DJ Torch, men's bar is in hell. Yeah. The Kevin Samuels plan did not work for her. Did not work. She went from a trophy wife to a beat up wife, literally. Let's play something on a little more on the positive side. Here we go. Wait, where is it at? Okay, right here. Here we go.
I'm ready. Okay, is your name Melanie? Yes. Melanie, where are you calling me from?
I'm calling you from Chicago. Yeah, I remember when you was in Chicago.
good. I just left Chicago a year ago.
Yeah.
Okay, Melanie, how old are you, boo?
I'm 40. I'm gonna be 41 December 14th.
Okay, happy birthday on the way. So you're a Sagittarius?
Yes.
Okay. You have any kids?
I have no kids.
Okay, no kids. What you do for a living, boo?
I'm a multimedia expert, so I have my own business.
Multimedia expert.
Yep, I have a multimedia company.
Okay. And have you ever been married?
I've never been married. I've been engaged once.
Okay. So we got Melanie, Chicago, 40, Sagittarius, no kids, a multimedia expert.
Can I share something, Kendra?
Sure.
I'm also a virgin. I'm waiting for marriage.
You've never had sex your whole entire life?
I've never had sex my whole entire life. I'm waiting for my husband. I want to have twins or triplets.
So let me get into this. So did you get raised in the church?
Yes, I was raised in the church. But I mean, still, there's Christians that still have babies. So it's still a decision that I made that I wanted to wait.
So you're a 40-year-old virgin?
Yes, the real 40-year-old virgin. I get teased a lot after the movie. You said, huh?
Are you into men?
Yes, I'm definitely into men only.
Okay.
Wow. Quita said, yeah, the trophy wife said her husband did the grape 4 times to her. Wow. See what I'm telling? I'm trying to say it. I'm trying to break it down. Yeah, Raven Simone was what again? I'm trying to break it down. Here we go.
So this hasn't been a challenge for you for the last 40 years?
Yes, it has been. People I got curves. People think since you black, you're supposed to have kids, you're supposed to have had sex, you're supposed to be out here. So people get, confused and say, what's wrong with me?
Now, I hope this isn't too invasive. So let me try to ask it in a PG-13 way. Now you're a virgin. Yes. Do you use toys?
I plead the fifth.
Okay. We'll leave it at that.
I don't insert anything. So I don't insert anything.
Okay. I'm just curious. All right. So she is a 40-year-old virgin and you are waiting to marriage.
Yes.
Okay. So we got Melanie, Chicago, 40, Sagittarius, no kids, multimedia expert, never married. So when do you tell men that you're not going to have sex unless you get married?
Well, I've been on the Steve Harvey show before and some other show, and they told me do not share that. My dad told me do not share that. When you get down to it, where you're about to get physical, then kind of share that. But I feel like I should share with people in the beginning because it comes up kind of early. They'll ask how many bodies do you have, how many. So I tend to share, and either it can make somebody feel like, hey, I want to shy away, or they like, oh, I'm gonna be the one. It end up being like that.
So, they say don't share it, but you went on the Steve Harvey show. You're on public platforms talking about it. So it's kind of hard to keep it a secret if you're on a public platform. Okay. So
now that happened. I shared it when I was 28. That's when I was waiting when I was 28. So fast forward, that was a lot of years.
She got some discipline or something. Wow.
Now people wouldn't think I still will be holding on this long.
So have you not met anybody serious enough to marry?
Well, there's been situations where I got close. I've been out of a relationship 3 months now, and me and the guy went through premarital counseling and everything, but he lied about his religion. He lied about wanting to have not an open relationship. And I'm like, I'm not down for that. I'm not trying to share.
See, the thing is this is crazy, isn't it? Men are more concerned. It seems like, and I won't say every single man, but a lot. They want sex more than they want to be married. They really do. I'm telling you.
You're not trying to what?
I'm not trying to share.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were engaged?
I was engaged before, yeah, and that was college, so it was a while ago. Yeah.
Oh, but the guy you were just talking about, y'all went to pre-marriage counseling, right?
Yeah, it was we met, and then after a month and a half, he was like, hey, I feel like I want to marry you. And we was like, okay, well, let's go through premarital counseling first. And then a lot came out of that.
Let me tell you something that was very smart of her. because she, as pre-marriage counselor, most of them are therapists, and they have a way of finding out whether somebody is sincere or not. And obviously, she found out otherwise. Oh, everybody, please wish Darnell a belated happy birthday. Yeah, yeah, I was there. I was there on this podcast. Did you see Darnell? Did you see what he was talking about? You see how he's trying to, get himself, dig himself out of a hole. I said I'd debate with him. Let's see what happens. Here we go.
So y'all went to premarital counseling, but y'all weren't even engaged.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are tearing it up in the chat. Why would she announce that she's a virgin? Yeah. And again, women are not products to be used and discarded. These black mayo dusties are predos. Yep. I mean, basically, it's like this. I truly think she should have kept it to herself. But I do love the fact that she made the guy go to marriage, marriage counseling, and that he actually exposed himself saying that he was going to cheat on her anyway. Yeah, Phoenix Soul. If she's made it to 40 without peeing, what's another 40? She ain't making a shot. Some hands and feet, maybe. Darnell says that no Fugazi guy is a POS. Hey, let me drop the link just in case somebody wants to come up. Why not? Let me. I need to test out this link thing anyway. So let's see how this works. Okay, drop this in here just in case somebody wants to come up. Here we go. Okay. Everybody wish Darnell a happy birthday. It's belated, but we're glad he's here. Here we go.
All right. So let's do it. All right, Melanie Child. Now I always say nothing can surprise me, but then something always surprises me. In the 4 years of hosting the show, you are my first 40-year-old virgin.
Okay. That's all good.
So let's start. What kind of man are you looking for?
I'm looking for a Christian man. I'm looking for an honest man. At this point, I'm open with his race. I've typically dated African American men, but I'm open. I want him to be a good communicator and just pretty much tell me what you're looking for. Don't play like you are one way, and then we get closer and closer, and then you share with me some deep dark secrets. Somebody who doesn't have like a whole bunch of kids, baby mama drama, because I'm not bringing that to the table. Somebody who's stable. I have my own vehicle, I have my own place, that type of thing. And
Yeah,
I guess
y'all have no chill.
somebody who
Oh, Bridget, how many toys? How toys I see more.
has a family oriented way about life. I don't want somebody who's like, I'm done with kids. Somebody that want to be married, because there's people that have been divorced and they don't want to get married no more. I run across that a lot. And so they like, no, I've been there, done that. So I want somebody who desires to have marriage, who desires to have kids, and somebody who has a positive attitude, who's funny. I don't want nobody who's just like a stick in the mud. So yeah, let's have a good time.
Let me ask you this. Now, because you say you want kids still, have you froze your eggs?
I have not frozen my eggs, but I get them checked on. So I go to the doctor regularly, and they say I'm good to go. I'm just
for all women who want motherhood and haven't found the right person, freeze your eggs. You invest in your hair, you invest in your wigs, you invest in your clothes, you invest in your lashes. If motherhood is something that you really want and you haven't found the right person, freeze your eggs so it can buy you more time. So I would say with you, yes, you can I have friends that have babies at 40, but it does get more challenging the older you get. So this is something you want for sure.
Yeah.
And we don't talk about it a lot, but I suggest, even if you're in your 20s, if you're a career focused girl, if you just know motherhood is something you really want, the younger the better.
Yeah.
So I would say you should do that just in case you don't meet a guy until at a time where it might be too late for you to have kids.
Understood. Yeah, like I said, I get things checked regularly, and it's so crazy because like I got my first pap smear last year because I was so scared for anything to happen. Like I didn't want my hymen broke. I didn't want none of that. And it's my OBG. She's so funny. She took a picture of my hymen to let me know it was still intact.
Man,
Hold
Just
on.
random.
They said, why do I always tell this? Because we don't talk about this a lot. And I know women
let me pause
who
for a minute. I want to see what they're saying in the chat. Let's see. Waiting until marriage for sex, saving herself for her husband. I love this so much. Stay strong, sis. I pray for your husband to show up and show out. Yeah, and I hope he shows out in a good way. This is so refreshing. Okay, that's she's getting some positive back feedback. Sis, you ain't missed. You guys, I gotta read this one out. Oh man, this one right here. I forgot what she says. English ages beauty. Sis, you ain't missed a motherfucking thing because having sex is the biggest headache you will ever have, especially if you are wanting a black man. Don't waste your effing time. Be a virgin is goals. Yeah. Oh, and this one was here. Why ask about toys? This wasn't the question. Da, 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 da. Okay. And here's a dude. Natural beauty, great personality. She is terrific. Hey, that's okay. So she got some positive feedback here. She got positive feedback. I'm glad to see that. Really, quite honestly, okay. If most guests was like this, the black community, community would be thriving. So refreshing. Big props. But basically, the same goes for men. If men were, well, I'm not going to even say it anymore. I was 40 pregnant with my first child. I can't believe I'm a mama at this age, 40 out of all days. She was born in the fourth of, wow, okay. So this woman right here, she had a child at 40. She's doing good. She's doing good. Let me see what else is here. Yeah, there's some good positive energy in this on this video. I'm glad. I'm glad because usually these dudes would be kind of weird.
who are older than me, that regret not having children because they never thought about freezing their eggs.
True.
So this is just information I'm giving to women overall because some women don't want to have kids and that's their right. But there's women who genuinely want to become mothers but still haven't found a husband or a person to have a child with. So it does give you more time. It's things that men don't have to always think about because men with strong sperms can
Yeah,
have.
let me pause it right here because this is really important. Susie Bear says, "I'm definitely for marriage counseling. As women as a woman who's divested, I come together with a man based on values bars, having the same interests bars. It's just that she will always deal with black men who will mask, right? But and that's the coolest thing about marriage counseling or relationship counseling. If you take your dude to her to most because some people can be fooled, but to most counselors, they will expose shit. You think people expose shit on YouTube? Oh, wait till you take your significant other or somebody you think's on point to your therapist. They've seen it all. And see, people don't understand that. People with therapy training have seen it all. That's why they can pick things up before we can. It's crazy. It's like they just okay, this person this. Not only see it, but they could break it down how, why, what, where, when, who. So I fully, I mean, if you find somebody who you're vibing on and you want to take it to the next level, save that it could range from $80 to $280 to go to a counselor, depending where you are, how long the session is, or whatever. But I guarantee you it would be the best money you ever spent. If you want to find out, if you don't want to go down the same road that Trophy Wife went down, it's worth every penny, every little penny.
Babies in their 60s. Like, you know, it's but then some men don't got strong sperms and they can't have babies at all. We don't talk about that though.
But then too, they
Just-
say old sperm can create problems as well. You can end up having unfortunately kids with special needs.
Well, yeah,
You know?
I mean, it could go both ways. But let's just, but I just want to give that. Let's continue. All right. So, what are your deal breakers?
My deal breakers are liars, cheaters, people that's into poly. I don't want nobody that's smoking. You can drink. I don't.
She said she didn't want anybody who was into poly. Unfortunately, thanks to dudes like Umar and company, that's all these men want. They want more than one woman, whether it's by permission or not.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I want a Christian, so somebody who says, "Hey, powers of the universe," and they believe in reincarnation and all this other stuff. No, I'm good on that.
Okay, you're good on that. Should he look a certain way?
Yeah. I mean, nice teeth, good hygiene. There's people that got really terrible hygiene. You look at them and they don't look like they would smell, but they do. And so, you know, so good hygiene, keep himself up, clothes clean, haircut. You know, just have a good outlook on life, you know, living. You know, they're enjoying life, optimistic. Somebody that's the glasses have full instead of half empty.
Okay.
So
All right. Excuse me. Should he make a certain amount of money?
yeah, I want him to make, you know, enough
Excuse me, Jared, what you just said. I would say, yeah, overly, not really religious people, but overly religious people. There's something who try too hard to express their religion, where they're saying things too much. I mean, they're like, because I know some people like that, and just come to find out they were creeps. Let's just put it that way. I just found that out too, and I found out from them. So yeah,
where he feel he's stable to take care of a family. I'm not gonna say the amount.
don't get me wrong. Believing in God is cool, but some people they use religion as a tool to manipulate others.
I'm not a gold digger. I have money of my own as well. But I mean, we'll be putting our money together and making it happen. So
Okay. Let's do the Kendra Kim.
okay. Let me see if I can sit it somewhere.
Yeah, Maria says I'm 41, have 2 children under 4 years old. I'm geriatric, I guess. Hey, no, it sounds like good genes to me. Let's keep it going. Here we go.
Someone said, I can say I never drink, smoked, or indulge in drugs. Can we see you? Your camera's not in your favor. Can you put the light? It's the way your light is positioned.
Okay, let me move it around. All right,
okay, this is better. I don't know why. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, all right. You just showing your butt. Okay, but I said you can get your body, girl.
This is my boobs too.
They're telling me to ask you, are you in a hotel?
I'm not in a hotel. This is my place. This is my house. My house feel like a beach, little chilling place. Like it's a condo.
Okay. All right. So we got Melanie, Chicago. Do you want the guy to be in Chicago?
I would prefer, because my love language is quality time. So if I'm not feeling around the person, I'm not feeling loved. So quality time, acts of service, and gift giving. But that's number 3. So I just want the person around, and I want the person to be thoughtful. If you share something with the person, they listen and taking it in, like, oh, I remember your birthday. Oh, I remember your favorite color. Just little thoughtful things, because I'm a very thoughtful person. So I like, you know, giving the person things that they like as well.
Okay. All right. Melanie. Okay, so I know you are a virgin, but when was your last relationship?
My last relationship was 3 months ago. And, you know, I've been dating since then, but nobody's really been sticking out to get in a relationship with. So I do desire a relationship. I just need one relationship, one good hubby, and then one good family. Okay. And my parents been married for over 40 years. My grandparents was married for over 60 some years. So I believe in marriage, and I know marriage still exists. A lot of people don't feel like it can last, but I believe it does, and that's why I've been, just not settling for whatever, because I know it exists.
Could the guy have kids already?
He can have kids. Yeah, he can have kids. Hopefully, it ain't about 5 different baby mamas. It was somebody trying to talk to me. He had 10 different 10 kids and like 7 or 8 baby mamas. I was like, what?
Dang, see? Man.
No.
That's a lot. Okay. So we already know you've never been intimate with anyone. 3 flaws you have to work on.
I guess I've been working on not being so forgiving. Like when people show you who they are, believe them the first time,
Mm-hmm.
And move on, not waste time, because I ain't got all the time in the world. I'm 40 and I want to have kids. I want to have a family. So I think just being too forgiving of things. And then when I see signs or people tell me stuff.
You know something, Phoenix? So you nailed it. She's on the wrong show because all of these dudes here are about putting up numbers. And you know what I mean. So Phoenix Soul says she's just gonna get any distinguished Pookie to play long enough, to pop that. Yep. That's all that's on the show. I mean, look, yeah. That's basically it.
Stuff that I've experienced before, even though it's a different person, that could be the same.
By the way, since we're on religion, let me break it down here really, really, really deep for you. Let's go back to the let's go back to the trophy wife for a minute.
So I want to talk about the new.
Okay. Now she met dude on some a Christian dating site. I forgot the name of it, but it's a Christian dating. It's like Christian, like the guy who's who ran it, who owns it or something like that. He's like a priest or something like that. And the problem is that there are so. Let me tell you, loving God, if you truly do love God, is there is not that's not what we're talking about. We're not criticizing those people. You're that person. I want to make that clear because a lot of people love God. It's just the religion part is component is the issue because if you've noticed, a lot of people use religion to manipulate others to the point where if religion was supposed to be a good thing, it is now just the reputation of religion is destroyed. Let's put it that way. It's 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 becoming damaged goods just saying that you're religious because that's what all the creeps use. I guarantee I've watched these legal proceedings. I've watched these creepy judges, not judges, but priests and everything. And they all use religion as a way to brainwash at least one person or larger groups. And it's important to understand that. You have to understand who's who's religious honestly, or who's using religion. There's a big difference. Who's religious or who's using religion. If they're doing nasty things and then saying, "Oh yeah, praise the Lord," blah 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 blah, praise the Lord, and then doing something negative, there it goes. Bridget Mouton says she brought random men around her daughters. No need to cry now. For real. For real. She did. She brought random men. The thing is, it's weird that she would even have a show or have a channel, because it's almost like the Fugazi dude. It's almost a fraudulent thing. She got dogged out by one guy, then the other guy goes, "Oh, hey, I might as well marry you for a minute," just to end up dogging her out and doing horrible things to her kids. Whilst using the Kevin Samuels plan. I cannot stress that any harder. So, I mean, the thing is this. I started this channel here to warn women about men like Kevin Samuels. And this is really kind of, believe it or not, whether I get one view, 10 views, 50 views, to me, this is really the pinnacle of the whole thing. This is the pinnacle of this channel, and I'll tell you why. She is exactly the woman that those men would praise on a red pill channel. And she got treated like shit. So I don't need to say anything about men. I don't need to bash anybody. Just look and see what happened to her. For the ladies, especially the ladies, look, she did everything they told her to. And the worst thing that could happen to a mother happened. Well, there's a couple more things that could be worse, but literally everything that could happen happened to her. She followed your directions, fellas, and look what happened to her. Literally what you could call permanent damage. I mean, this is pinnacle right here. You have to understand this. This woman could be let me make it clear, an unfortunate teaching tool. These men do not care about fit, feminine, friendly, all that kind of stuff. They're just, what that all it means is what they're asking when they're asking fit, feminine, friendly, can we use you the way we want to use you in whatever resources you may have, including children. That's what's going down. That's what's going down. There he is right there. I mean, if there's ever a checkmate for fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive red pill theory, here you go. Here you go. There is nothing anyone can say or do that's going to change this. It's important to let women know. I think I might have to do a part 2. In the part 2, I think that somebody mentioned something about a video of her talking online while her kids are being abused. We definitely need to go over that, because all of those young ladies out there that are on the fence about being, using the KS plan, they need to see that. They need to see that. Wow. I mean, Hazel said her first 3 months of marriage. He, I mean, is you would think he would wait. I mean, he's married to her and he still did that. That's how demented he is. That just shows you money isn't everything. The problem is the men who listen and go by the KS plan. See, I'm going to stop saying his name, full name. I'll call it a plan. Then that way, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the ideology. See, the men who follow the KS plan, the sad part is even the broke ones act that like this. They act just like this. Don't believe me? You don't believe me? Go to the channel Lost Girls. Go to those crime channels about black femicide. Just go to the regular news. I'm serious. Go to the regular news. You'll see. You will not even have to come here anymore. After you watch the news, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's like, and look, is he wearing some pink shades? Is dude wearing some pink shades? Is that some? Well, hey, look, fine. It just doesn't go. Never mind. I mean, part of me says, that's kind of like what did you expect from a KS theory? But then there's a large part of me says that this poor woman. I mean, I don't wish. I mean, there's their term. I don't wish it even on my worst enemy. And 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 I feel that way. I feel for her. I'm sorry that she was going through what she's going through because she does. I mean, don't get me wrong. She, she should have never went down that KS plan road, but at the same time, she didn't deserve to be treated like she did. But I know one thing: she better not get back on here talking smack to other women about marriage and shit. That's for sure. I'm going to use. I'm going to be using this event for months. I really am. I'm going to be using this event for months because it's exactly it exactly proves the KS plan completely wrong. It completely and it the thing is, folks, she's not an outlier. It's this is what happens when you use the KS plan. This is what happens when you use the KS plan. All those women, the reason why they get mad at those women that talk back, they say they talk back, or that are independent or strong women, is because they can't do the same thing to those women that they do to her. Pop Off Podcast in their house. Pop Off Podcast. I got No Fugazi lined up for tomorrow. It's going to be a laugher. I'm telling you. But that's the thing. So what's the point of being fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive if you're just going to get hands and feet put on you anyway? What's the point? Really? I mean, I'm talking to the ladies. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to do because quite honestly, that is between what y'all should be talking about. And sooner or later, when the channel gets moving again, I'm going to expect to have everybody on here talking, having your own conversation. In fact, if you want to do a show, let me know. I will line it up. But what I will say is this. What I know about men who I'm around all day, every day, and for a very long time, you have to understand who the consumers are and those people, men who are really care about you. It's really easy. It's really easy. Number one, you have to understand the first rule. 90% of men will never change. Never. We are who we are. We are who we are. Number two, the honeymoon phase, why they call it that is because narcissists can can hold it in for about 3 months, and then after that they just can't. It it take faking the funk takes a lot out of a narcissist. It takes a lot out of a narcissist. It's just it takes everything. So two things have to happen. One, they have to find a way of controlling you. Or two, they have to find a way of making you committed in a way that you cannot escape them easily or immediately. And usually the common denominator is making you have kids. That's usually going to be the one. That's why our community has a lot of kids. That's what's going down. It's it's that simple. Just like the KS theory, the KS plan is the plan for all men who think they're traditional, who think flying across to other countries is traditional. This young lady right here did everything you all wanted. Preached the KS plan. Look what happened to her. Y'all think she's lying? You didn't think she was lying when she was praising the KS gods. You think she's lying now? No, Quita, I think Quita says I'm confused. How 3 months? They had two children. I think she had two children of her own before they got together, and then I think he put another one in her. I can't remember how that worked, but something like that. But I'll tell you, she is. I might have to use her for like a banner or something, or like a maybe even for an avatar or something, because she's exactly the person that we should be talking about every day. Because there are a lot of women who really think that being fit, feminine, friendly, and submissive is going to save them. And it didn't. In fact, you know something? After this live stream, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go put together a banner with her face on there and everything, looking all pretty, just like this. You know, and she going through it. Yeah, Papa says they got married after a week. Yeah, yeah, Quita, you're right. You're right. She's. You should have heard that. You should have heard what she was talking. She was almost like sounding like she was trying to compete with Chantel Simone. Yeah, she was popping off herself. No, yeah, Quita, you're right. She was saying some. She ain't saying it now. She is not saying it now. I'm not happy. What happened to her, but she's a new poster child. She is the new poster child, ironically, for BWE, for Exoticals, for all women's groups, because she proves she is the perfect, she turned out to be a test dummy. I'm not calling her dumb, but what I mean is that she tested the XYs or the men's nature and proved, whether you like her or not, Cynthia G 100%. There is nothing to be said. You know something? Maybe I'll change the name of my channel to the "I Told You So" channel and just have a picture of Cynthia G up, shrugging like "I told you so." No, I won't do that, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Come on. She's in fact. Let me see if I can put her up full mast because she deserves that. Let me put her up full mast. There we go. There we go. And he's an average looking dude too. It's not like he has any kind of, quality features. She's sitting there all pretty and everything, you know, all yeah, all pretty. Look at her. Work and she she got that work. She got that work, folks. I've I have so many mixed feelings. I really do. I really do. It's like she got that work. Now, I mean, yeah, you look weird. You look weird. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do a part two because there's gonna be things that don't need to be missed, and there's people we need to warn. There's young women who are in their early teens and their mid teens and everything. I'll have to make kind of a PG version for them, but they need to be warned that being going to doormat school has no upside. None. None. I have no smoke for her. I have no smoke for her. She shouldn't have been saying what she was saying. But I don't know her that well, to be honest with you. But I know one thing: she got that work. She got that. She was on that KS plan. She was on that KS plan and got that work. I, I want to hear from something. I think I got to go over to some red pill channels, and I'm gonna be having this. I'm gonna have her as an avatar or something. Or I'm gonna say so. So what do you think about trophy wife? Y'all treated her good because let's face it, the guy who she's with right here, this old dude right here, he a manosphere dude. He's a manosphere dude. We know he is. She got that work. And I guarantee you, she's not the only manosphere like pick me that's got that work. But she was, I will give her this much. She was brave enough to come out and talk about it. But I guarantee you, there's some women that are in the manosphere world, they're getting this kind of work from their dude too. Either they can't escape or they're completely broke down. So I'm not saying this young lady has a chance because she's got some serious, she's got about, dude probably put about 10 years on her. I hope she's resilient. And I hope her children are resilient. Ladies and gentlemen, you are seeing this is the epitome of a bandit. Is this man right here? He's a bandit. They must, you know something? They must, and when they did this, do you notice that I think the steering wheel is on the left side? Yeah. They're in some other country, right? They were in some other country right then. No, but I'm taking this photo right here, doing my thing. Whoop, whoop. Put that on a banner. Yep. Yeah, you know something, everybody, it is getting kind of late. Shoot. What time is it? Shoot. First of all, especially the ones on the East Coast, thank you for spending your time with me. It's almost midnight on a work night. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're gonna do a part 2. So we have no Fugazi tomorrow night. Sorry for the late schedule, but I got a lot going on right now. And then we'll probably do the part 2 maybe on Saturday night or something like that. But I think I'm gonna mix it in with ladies' night or something like that. We'll feature her, but we're gonna have a ladies' night where number one, anyone can come up and show any kind of videos you want as long as they're legal, of course. And do if you have a little show you want to do, feel free to come through. And yeah, let's roll like that this weekend. Because yeah, we're gonna do that. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna hit the beat. Here we go. Off cam. Time to get them shout outs up.
Money work.
Shout out to Indy, Anna, Moss, Rita Ward, Mariah G, Bridget Mouton, Podcast, Jackie Gaines. Jackie, thank you so much for watching that over the panel. Long, so thank you. Happy birthday, Darnell Elliott. Darnell, pull through on tomorrow if you can. And also Deontay, if you listen, pull through too. We got to talk about some things. Susie Bear, Phoenix Cove. Remember, we're gonna break down No Fugazi.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré.
Everyone.
Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for staying up late.
Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, de corazón. De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz.
Break it down.
Money work.
night, everyone.